Hey everyone. Yep, 630-266 is apart. We had a problem for sure. I said it in the other video I shot on this. This saw had an issue. It wasn't an apparent issue or something falling off. It was running funny. And when I say funny, I mean it wouldn't restart warm, period. If you got it restarted warm, it was boggy. You'd give it throttle and it would just go, you know, like it was just laboring. And so I was falling some poplars at my neighbor's the other day, and I brought this saw along because I wanted to, you know, put some time on it. I try and rotate my saws through in and out of the mix so that they all get run regularly, and it was this saw's turn. Saw ran great. I was bucking up, you know, 24 inch poplar, and I mean poplar's not the hardest to buck, but the softer the wood, the faster the cut with this thing. I mean, this thing was just, you know, ripping. So I took a break for water and figured at 6:30, I'm enjoying running that so much, I'm going to finish this tree with that. Well, I couldn't get this thing to start, and when I got it to start, I couldn't get it to idle. So right there, I knew something was up. With this saw. So ran it again the next day, or a couple days later. From a cold start, it was fine. Started fine. Sat there and idled for 10 minutes. I just threw it on the driveway or in the grass there and let it idle. And no issues. Till it got warm. And then when it got warm, I went to put it in a piece of wood, and same thing, making noise. You know, like just boggy, slow through the cut. And so here we are. I did have to split this saw. Here's the crankshaft. I notice a slight light color here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Not sure what's going on there. Doesn't look like it got hot. But other than that, no bluing. You know, it doesn't look like it's been hot ever. If these get hot, they turn blue. She's tight. There's no clackety clack up and down. So originally I thought the big end of the bearing went in this saw. Took this apart. These bearings sounded okay with oil in them. Now I sprayed them out with brake clean. Listen. Oh, and it got stuck. Okay. Clutch side. Again, I sprayed the oil out of it. It's stuck. Okay. So there you go, guys. These bearings are trashed. Now, some people would say, didn't you just build that saw? I did, but I did not put bearings in it. Why, you say? Well, two reasons. Number one, this is the second, well, I'm going to say number two, these bearings looked fine. I did a full bottom end inspection in this. They looked fine. They're clean, no rust. Bottom end felt smooth, so I said, let's run them. Number two, I built this saw when COVID started. And when COVID started, all the bearing houses were closed. I couldn't get bearings. So, I made a calculated risk, or calculated decision. It was clearly the wrong one now, but is what it is, right? I wanted to keep content rolling on the channel, and so here we are. Nice thing is, I listened to this saw, and it was telling me something was wrong, and there was something wrong. These bearings were starting to seize. So anyhow, I'm gonna put bearings in this. I'll probably just cut right till a running saw, because I think we've done enough bottom end builds lately. And we'll get this thing back up and running. This shouldn't take very long. I was prepared to change the crankshaft, but I don't think I'm going to, because this crank's fine. I don't feel anything. So anyhow, we'll get this running, and I will check back in with you guys when this thing's back together. So there you go. We need bearings. Boo. But it is what it is. That's saws, guys. They are going to break. Okay, I'm back a couple hours later. It's actually scary how fast I can rip off one of these builds now. Especially when you're not fixing broken parts. 630's back together. It's got good compression. I'm going to let the sealant dry. I will fire this week sometime. You hear that? That's the sound of a dead bearing. So there you go. SKFs were in here, so I'm not sure if these bearings have ever been done before. I don't know if they came factory with SKFs, but that's how she goes, guys. Sometimes you take a calculated risk. I did that with this saw. The risk did not pan out. I mean, this saw has been running for months and months and months, and I've cut lots of wood with it, but it should run longer than that. Maybe if it was stock, I wouldn't have had any problems, but when you do port a saw, you're putting extra stress on components. Sometimes they're going to fail, especially in a 31-year-old saw like this. So anyhow, I'll put a little video of this thing idling at the end of this video. And we'll call this build done. Whatever. Like I said, saws are going to break, guys. If you're in this hobby and you think a saw is never going to fail, you're in for a rude awakening. Saws do fail. Components fail. New saws fail. You know, so that's just the way it is. And I'm going to show you when my saws fail, because that's part of the hobby. Got nothing to hide here. So like I said, I didn't do bearings in this. Maybe I should have, but I couldn't get them at the time. So, and I wanted to keep content going and builds going. So I made a calculated risk. No harm, no foul. You know, if you pay attention to your saws, you can feel that in the throttle, which I did. So, anyhow, I'll put a video of this thing idling at the end of this video. As always, thanks for watching. Take her easy.